What's up, y'all? You're now tuned in to the Just a Tip podcast. It's me, Tiptastic, aka Tipville, USA, baby. And as you can see, I am not here alone. To my right, man, I got somebody special in the building. Man, I got one of the pioneers of Cincinnati, Ohio rap, the legendary Mr. Supersonic Sid. How you
Thanks,
doing
sir.
today?
I'm doing pretty good. Nice introduction.
I'll do a little something, something.
Yes,
I got
sir.
I got a little training, with hosting events, covering
Yes,
events.
sir. Yes, sir.
I got a little something, something. So, my first segment, Mr. Sid, Supersonic Sid,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
is 7 minutes to get your shit off. So, with that being said, you can do anything in the 7 minutes, right? You can give out shout outs. That's what I like to do. I like to give out shout out, show love, talk about upcoming events that you got going on,
Okay. Okay.
and man, and talk about current events. Man, we just had a rally. Kamala Harris was down here. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's gonna be your floor, and if struggling with the 7 minutes, I got you because I got some love I gotta show you, man. So really,
All
you know
right.
what? I'm gonna change the title of that segment to "Give You Your Flowers."
That's
The
nice,
flow
sir.
is yours.
That's a little different.
You know?
Start off like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And shout outs. Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you
Um.
got to give them flowers while they here. Let them smell
Yes,
it.
sir.
Smell these
Man.
roses.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. Man, I didn't have anything written down, but I definitely want to shout out, where I'm from, actually, Maysville, Kentucky.
Okay,
I moved to Cincinnati, so I always shout out Maysville. I mean that's my heart, and that's my family.
okay.
Shout out to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Definitely shout out to Cincinnati. Shout out to my brothers, sisters. Um, I want to shout out a friend of mine named Sam.
Sam.
Sam, yeah, he reached out to me a few years ago
Okay.
because I wasn't talking to anybody about music, dealing with anyone as far as music was concerned. And he reached out to me, flew down here, filmed me in a little documentary that he had. Um, Pretty cool guy. Um, I got a phone call maybe a couple of weeks ago. An old friend of mine is gonna have a Cincinnati local legend, um, I guess, show or what you want to call it. It's gonna be a 3 day event.
Okay.
It's August 29th, 30th, and 31st. On the 29th, I think there's gonna be a concert. From
Okay.
what I understand, I'll be performing in that concert.
Hold up. Hold on.
On
Hold
the
on. I got a question
Yes, sir.
before we continue. So you say you'll be performing, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So if you need, somebody to, tag along, get some coverage, you
Oh, you
know,
can definitely tag
you
along.
know.
As a matter of fact, I wanted somebody to tag along and film it all. I mean, that'd be nice. I want to keep it for my kids. Um, I'm gonna say this here first. The tribute. I'm actually gonna do a tribute. I am going to do the very first song that I did called "Listen Up," but
Okay.
it's gonna be a remake version. So when you guys hear it, the music's gonna be totally different. But I'm actually gonna dedicate this to my boy Ecstasy of Whodini. Um, he reached out to me when I was young. Uh, And I remember before that night was over, he was like, he said, you know what, Sid? He said, I'm gonna hit you up when I come back to town. And the man kept his word. The next time he came back to town, word was getting out, hey man, X from Whodini looking for you. I went down to the show, and man, he's been my boy ever since. I mean, all the way up to the day he died. And like I told you,
Yeah.
I talked to him the day before he died. Let me see. I had an interview. Somehow he was supposed to come on the show with me
On the podcast you was
on a
telling me about.
podcast. Yeah, the day before he died, and I got the news real early that morning before it
You know it.
actually
You
before the
know it,
news went
bro.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Man, that was a good guy, man. He is really a good guy. Um, he really when you hear people say they love the fans, they love the fans. People like, yeah, I love my fans because the fans pay you. He was the type of guy. He loved his fans because he knew they were the reason he was living the way he was,
Mm-hmm.
or where his money came from. He would always check in on me. I'd always check in on him. Every time they come to town, we'd always, get together, hook up, be on stage with him, just having a darn good time, man. Over the years, man. I just want to say shout out to my boy Wiz, Doc Ice from UTFO.
Okay.
Really, really nice fella, man. Um, Shout out to my boy Terrence Reed. We've been best friends since we was 15.
Shout out T Reed.
Yeah, Terrence was trying to break up a fight, and the dude wanted to fight him for breaking up the fight.
Oh man.
So,
hold on, you was in the fight?
No, it was two girls getting ready to fight.
Oh, and so he breaking it
and
up.
Terrence tried to break up the fight. The dude got mad because he wanted to see the girls fight. But that's been my boy, all them years, man. One day he got jumped, and I was
Lord.
there, and I did the noble thing. I ran and got some help.
Oh man!
But when I got back, he was already done. But that's between me and him.
Hold on. No, it ain't between just you two anymore. You just said this live.
Yeah, I know. That's my boy. Man, I weighed
you
about
left him hanging?
Man, I weighed about 20 pounds.
What that mean?
Man, we talk about that all the time, man. I even told him I went to get help.
Oh my God.
And he just bust out laughing. Man, please, man. I couldn't beat up them guys. I was about 110 pounds. I ain't embarrassed. No, man, but that's my boy, man. Say what's up, Tyrone Starr. My son, Sidney Jr.
Hey, shout out Sid.
My daughter, Kaylin. My granddaughter, Lily.
Okay.
I have a grandson that's getting into rap.
Okay.
And I'm trying to give him advice. I gave him a couple ideas. My grandson, Keyshawn. I gave him a couple ideas. I hope he's listening and taking heed to those ideas. And I would love to hear his music when it comes out. The thing that's going on in Cincinnati, that should be pretty big.
Yeah.
Like I said, the first day concert, second day, I think it's gonna be like a celebrity basketball. The third day is gonna be the day where they're actually gonna shout out the local legends.
Now Supersonic, right?
Yes,
you said
sir.
Celebrity basketball. You caught my attention, right?
Yes, sir.
So, how can I be a part of that celebrity basketball
Man,
game?
you rolling with me? You already in?
Oh, so we there because I got it.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Mike L. That's in the building. R&B Artist of the Year, Mike L. He fixed your boy form, in the shooting wise. So shout out to my boy Mike L. I'm gonna help you out with the 7 minutes. We might go a little bit over, but that will be a first, and that's a great thing here on the podcast. Man, first off, man, shout out to Urban House Studios, man, for supplying us this venue. Make sure you get your podcast rooms, your photo shoot rooms, and your rehearsal rooms with Urban Arts. Make sure y'all go do that. Teamwork make the dream work. So, another thing, man.
One more shout out, man.
What's
up?
Don't
want to forget.
Don't forget it.
My boy Bigg Robb.
Bigg Robb.
Biggrobb.
Yeah.
He's the very first guy, Cincinnati, that played my record on the radio.
Okay, shout out Bigg Robb.
Very first guy.
He's still living?
Yeah, he is.
Okay,
matter of fact, Bigg Robb is you guys Google him, man. Bigg Robb is doing some really big things. He plays like that southern soul.
That southern soul
soul.
Okay.
And didn't I tell you to play the video? Did you?
I played the video. I played the video.
That's him. That's Bigg Robb.
So you know what?
The video that I'm in.
Call him after the call Bigg Robb.
Yeah.
Tell him we got some heat on the way.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Pretty cool guy. I'll definitely give him your number, man. I love to see up and coming people, man, and I love to help up and coming people. That's one of the reasons I just left this business. And we'll get into that part, as far as what I did over the years and how come I stopped rapping. I just left it alone, and Yeah, yeah, we'll get into that, and that's what the documentary is about. Like, well, hold on, dude, you had all that
Yeah.
steam going,
See,
but then you just stopped,
we about to get ready to jump into that.
So yeah, so
My
I'll wait for those questions.
my last couple happy solo return to my boy Quincy Lovins and his brother Quentin. Shout out to the my two bros, the twins. And man, shout out to Zelly Music, man. Go make sure y'all stream his music on all platforms. And again, shout out to my boy Mike L that's in the building. Get some of that yum 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 yum. You know, but Mr. Sid, man, we're gonna jump right into this interview now, man. We got all the pleasantries out the way.
Yes,
We
sir.
go
Yes,
now.
sir.
We about to focus on you. So,
Yes, sir.
Supersonic Sid is the name, but before you were Supersonic Sid, you were Sid Gilmore.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, when you was growing up, man, what turned you on to the music?
Well, just like all black households, our mothers played the Marvin Gaye and the Al Greens and the Temptations and stuff like that. I mean, we all just grew up listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when I heard rap for the first time, I literally lost my mind. The only way I can describe it is, you ever stick like your tongue in somebody landed with that battery with the tongue and sticking your fingers in the electric thing. Trust me, a lot of people did it.
Hold on, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Oh yeah,
y'all generation was different.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I listened.
Okay.
Yeah, because my mom said you can. I was like, no.
Well, we found out, and when I heard "Rapper's Delight" for the first time, that feeling went through my whole body, man.
So that put you on them. That changed your life, right?
Man, I lost it, man. And see, we didn't know what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard it, I ran upstairs back into my radio and television broadcasting class. I said, man, here's some guys, man, they're saying a poem to some music. And I said, man, a poem to me. I never thought of something. I lost it, man. I mean, I just literally freaking lost it. I couldn't wait till the next day to go back down there to hear that song again.
So, saying that, they turned a poem into music. So, can you tell the folks who probably didn't even know this, some people don't, what rap actually stands for?
Heck, I couldn't tell you.
That's crazy.
All I know is
it's rhyming poetry.
Oh.
Yeah. That's
wow.
Yeah. See?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
Nope. Boom, and I don't feel bad because nobody ever told me. But if you ask me that question 40 years from now, I know the answer now.
Bang, bang. Drop the mic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I never feel bad if I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know now.
So, Mr. Sid.
Yes, sir.
So, when you decided you was going to be into the rap, like do rapping, like do the music, how old were you?
What, 16?
You were 16.
Yeah.
So did you tell your parents this dream of yours? Did you go and tell your parents I want to be a rapper?
No, because you know what's funny? I never said I wanted to be one. I just loved the music. What I wanted to do was DJ.
Okay.
Man.
So DJ, okay, so
that's what I wanted to
do. So who got you into the DJ game?
Well, it happened by mistake.
Because y'all got some famous DJs.
Well, let me hit you on to what happened. In my high school in Cincinnati, they have a radio and television broadcasting class.
Okay.
6 hours a day for 2 years. Your junior, senior year. So in the 10th grade, they're promoting vocational. Okay. You can take radio and television broadcasting. You can be an electrician, home ec and stuff like that. The basic stuff back when we were little.
So the skills.
And I said, I could go to this class and listen to music 6 hours a day, every day. I was like, yep, I signed up for it.
Okay.
Oh boy. I wasn't listening to music 6 hours a day, every day for 2 years. You actually had to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's what's funny. I'd start really getting into the TV side and the radio side because they had radio and television broadcasting. And here's what's funny. You know how some people have talents and don't really know it's a talent
Yeah, yeah.
because it's so
Trust me, I
easy?
know.
I've always been this type of person. You're not good unless you're on the same level as the professionals. So if there
Mm.
was a DJ that I heard on the radio,
Hmm.
I knew, even though I was 16, I had to be at his level. When I would watch the news, I knew I had to be at the level of that anchor person. Anything less than that was nothing. And that's just how I felt.
Okay.
So we had a career day, and you had to do an entire radio show, including commercials and everything. But then you also had to produce a newscast. But you had to write the newscast, produce the newscast, write the cameras, sheets, everything for everybody. And I hate telling this part of the story because a lot of people are going to know this for the first time, and it just involves a little something here. I was offered an intern at Channel 12 ABC. I had not yet turned 17 years old.
Mm.
The lady's name was Mae Johnson. She came up to the high school. They had career day. And somehow, some way, that lady said, that guy right there, I want to talk to him. So the school sent me to Channel 12 ABC to have an interview with her. And I'm sitting in there like, first of all, why am I here? She said, and I swear to God, she was sitting in a big corporate chair, just like they have in those movies, a big old chair. You're like,
Yeah.
wow. She said, I don't know if you know what you're doing is amazing. She said, and I don't even know if you're playing. That lady said, but what I saw on that screen, she said, I've never seen this before. She said, there's kids right across the street that couldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole.
Mm.
University of Cincinnati, college kids. And I'm sitting in there like, remember when I said I
Young
have to
level.
be at this level
Yeah.
in order to be considered? Well, little did I know, I guess I was. My mother wouldn't let me do it.
What? Wow.
So, just out of respect to my brothers and my family, I'll just leave it alone.
Okay.
But it wasn't too cool. To me, it just wasn't too cool. And when you're a kid, you listen to your parents. Uh, the DJs there at career day said, y'all need to work with that guy. Work with that guy. Well, what pissed me off about the DJs was they was like, okay, so what does he need to work on? They said, well, his recording volumes was a little high. I'm like, wait a minute. That's your biggest complaint? Your complaint wasn't the skill set? It was the recording that I had no control over? I didn't record that high. The engineer did. And so when I was young, I just had that talent. And rapping, I started rapping, and so I'm in radio and television broadcasting. I'm doing the news, DJing, and rapping and stuff like that. And one day, I think I was in I hadn't turned 17 yet. A lady came from the Cincinnati public schools, and they gave a sweethearts ball,
Mm-hmm.
and they must have said that Hughes has a DJs, and you get the DJs free because they're students for the school system. And so she came down, and the teacher called me and about three other DJs into a room and said, "Hey, these are the guys that you could use. One guy per hour." And so the lady said, she said, okay. She said, what's your name? I said, Sydney. And then she asked everybody their name. She said, okay. So we go back downstairs, and the teacher calls me back up and say, Sydney, the lady wants to come and pick you up tomorrow and take you up to the school.
Okay.
I'm like, well, what about the other guys? Let me tell you, this part about show business is kind of cold. So she came and picked me up, and she said, "They're gonna love you." So we get, we drive over to the school. She opened up the door. She said, "Well, ladies, this is gonna be your DJ." And they opened up the door,
Mhm.
and they all just start screaming, "Ugh," just going nuts. I'm like, and that's the first time I ever encountered something like that. They
Okay.
just screaming, going crazy. I'm a local dude. I'm just a local, no local guy. And so we all got together, and they said, "Okay, well, this guy go first, this guy go second, this guy go third. Sid, you the main dude, so you'll go fourth and stuff
Okay.
like that." And that, it was really big. It was really nice. Then I had a guy that knew a guy that owned a lot of DJ equipment, and he said he charges $75. He'll set everything up for you, and he'll pick it up. All you do is DJ. I said, "Oh yeah." So I got the guy's number. I started handing out flyers. Let me tell you, I gave what was called a thriller dance.
A thriller dance.
I gave a thriller dance at a community center in English Woods, and it's some projects in Cincinnati. I printed up flyers. It was $1 to get in. That party was so huge that it could only get so many people in there.
Yeah.
People were taking times. I mean, you going for an hour, you going for a half hour, you come out and I get to go in. It was literally like that. I mean, it had people going down the block. And so one day I went to another community called Winton Terrace. And I went up to the store and I said, "Hey," I said, "you don't mind if I set some speakers out here and just kind of let people come around and listen to music, and if they get thirsty, they can come in here and buy your pop." And the dude let me set up outside. Oh, that place was jam packed. I had the whole projects, tons of people. Now
Trendsetter.
check this out. I'm a young dude, but here's the killer. Here's one thing that you probably never noticed. I put out a record. I got a record deal. I did all of this stuff by myself. I never had a manager.
Mm. That's, you know what that sounds like?
Never had a manager, never owed anybody a penny. I've stood on stage in front of 30,000 people without a manager. And if you want to get deep, because
Let's get deep.
I'm gonna say some things that questions you're not even gonna ask. But I think the public would like to hear this. I did shows. A guy named Barry Hassan Abdul Salam used to play for the Jets, and Napoleon Givens. They would put together some concerts, and they go, "Hey, introducing Supersonic Sid, the biggest up and coming rap star, and be the first to see him before his record comes out."
Yeah.
Never had a record. Never had a rap written down, bruh. Not only did I do concerts literally off the top of my head.
Hold on, so hold on.
Now,
hold on,
watch
hold on.
this. Hold on. My record deal was gotten by a freestyle. I got my record deal freestyling. I did concerts freestyling. Now, when I say freestyling, it ain't like this stuff these people do now. It's not a rap I wrote you never heard. I'm talking literally making it up right there on the spot. But let me tell you what I used to do.
Tell them.
One time I would tell my DJ, I said, "Listen, every time I point at you, change the music."
Oh, so hold on. I got a question because they be switching the beat up. Could you say Supersonic Sid started that wave? Because not a lot of people can switch up their flow and switch the beat up to a freestyle.
To be honest with you,
what did you hear beforehand?
That's all I never knew nobody that was doing shows off the top of their head. I never saw that. Matter of fact, when I did that, the only reason I told the DJ to do that, I said, every time I pointed, you change the music. People thought I was singing different songs. It was the same damn song. It was just I was just freestyling, just free whatever came to mind. And let me tell you what really helped. Remember the tell me your birthday, what's your sign? Party over here, party over there.
Yeah.
I did a lot of audience participation until I could think of something to say.
Ah.
These people never knew. I never had. If you'd have offered me $1 million to repeat one sentence, I'd have been broke.
Oh.
My record deal was gotten. I went to a park in Cincinnati called Kings Island.
So you went to Kings Island and you spit a freestyle for.
Watch this. Oh no. I
Okay.
go to Kings Island. At Kings Island, you could make little videos because videos were starting to come up in the 80s. They'll play somebody's music. You'll sing, but you'll basically it was karaoke.
Okay.
But the actual artist singing.
Gotcha.
And you would just do the video. You would lip sync. So I told the dude, I said, hey, you got just a drum beat, regular drum beat? He said, yeah. I said, I'm gonna do it, but just give me a drum beat. And I went in there and started rapping about just hygiene. You know, people don't take baths and all this stuff and dirty and underarms and they would play the videos all day. Man, everybody was watching the videos, and about 3 hours later, that's him, that's him. Everybody laughing and stuff like that. So a friend of mine named Andre, now I don't remember his last name. He said, let me get that tape. He said, I'm going to go to Atlanta. He said, I know somebody down there. I said, well, all right. Week and a half later, contract was sent to me by Ichiban Records. Ron Patterson called me. John Abbey was the big dude at Ichiban Records, Marietta, Georgia. And I was signed to Ichiban Records. Now, here's the killer part about it. Ichiban Records didn't have a rap division. Didn't even have a rap label. So the people there kept calling me, hey, we want to make a label. How should we do this? What label should we, how can we do this? I was like, well, and I was giving them ideas. They gave me ideas. We put them all together. I remember I liked that Michael Jackson Off the Wall. So I said, you know that wall, that Michael Jackson Off the Wall? He said, yeah. I said, why don't you just spray paint rap across it in graffiti? And the dude said, yeah. He said, let's be a little different. Let's put a WRAP, like Ichiban Rap Records. Yeah. And I said, well, send it to me, look at them. And they sent me different drawings of it. And I picked the one I liked. Ichiban Records, rap records from Ichiban Records. I am the very first artist ever on that label. Then MC Breed came, and then from what I understand, Vanilla Ice actually was on that label too after me, and I think somebody bigger had picked him up. But that was a label that was put together for me.
Yeah.
I was the first rapper in Cincinnati recorded, but that was on my own label.
Yeah.
That's where I
what was the name of that label?
That label was MLT. Music's Livest Touch Records. I lived in a complex, and there was a guy who used to come there, rich looking guy. You could tell you knew he owned the place.
Got you.
And I actually went to him. I said, hey, I know you make money, but want to make some more money? He's like, talk to me. I said, well, hey, well, I'm rapping because I was young. I was like, yeah, I'm rapping and blah, 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 blah. I said, give me $1,000. I said, give me $1,000. I said, I can give you 2,000 back. That man gave me $1,000. I went, found the cheapest dude in the studio, recorded, listen up, went to Queen City Records, a place that print records, went there. They printed me up 500 copies. So 500 copies, but singles was going for $4 and $5 a hit.
Oh, hold on.
But hold on, wait, it gets better. Then I went to the record stores.
Yeah.
I bypassed the distributor. I went to the record store. Now, I didn't know I was bypassing the distributor. Went to the record store and I said, hey, you sell this record for $5. Give me 2. I said, give me 3. You keep 2. Because that was his business. I went to about 7 or 8 record shops in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Sold them all. Gave that man his money back. He offered me some more money. I was like, nah. I said, I'm gonna get a record company to start flipping these bills. And this was before I got signed with Ichiban Records. This was like 2 or 3 years before Ichiban Records. Still never had a manager. Then all of a sudden, little rap groups start forming.
Okay.
Because I was the first. And there was guys that even did homework. I was like, oh, I'm the very first, literally the very first rapper in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Because within the Weekend Rapper's Delight, I had already recorded myself up in my class.
Yeah.
And when I put that record out, which was like 86, somehow on YouTube they got 87, it was 86. And then I was signed to Ichiban by 87. And a dude named Jabri song came out in like 92, 93. And somebody thought he was the first. I was like, no, I was the first. And somebody thought another person was the first. I was like, no, I was the first. Then they did their homework and they found out
You was the first.
like this dude is the first. I'm the very first rapper in Cincinnati, very first rapper to perform, very first rapper recorded, signed, played on the radio, interviewed on the radio, did shows. Matter of fact, we sold out, and I freestyled this. We sold out a venue in Cincinnati called Bogart's. It's a venue
Bogart.
where Prince actually played there too. A lot of bands played there. It was a nice venue. We sold that sucker out within a matter of days, and we were just local talent. I was the headliner, but somehow, some way, some stuff got mixed up, and another group was the headliner over me. But we were pretty much just as popular, so it didn't really matter to me anyway. I could care less anyway, but I was the headliner because my name was the first on that thing. But we sold that sucker out. So all of that stuff I did it on my own. Now we want to get to what got me out of the music. I used to tell people, man, this makes me sick telling this story. I used to tell people all the time, I said, yo, funk is in our backyard. Since we got the Parliament Funkadelics here, because a lot of guys played with George Clinton and Bootsy, all from Cincinnati. We're the Isley Brothers. We got our boys Roger, Zap. We got Zap
from there.
We got all these. We got Zap, Sly Fox, Parliament Funkadelics. Even James Brown was getting this band with Bootsy Collins. All this funk in Cincinnati. I'm like, y'all gotta use it. So on my listen up, I put Flashlight in it. Then all of a sudden, 10 years later, the West Coast took all the funk. The West Coast took it and made millionaires out of them. Dre, Snoop, all them, that's all funk that they playing. That's Cincinnati funk. Everybody knows where that came from. Cincinnati. But nobody was listening to me. Then I would try to ask people like, hey, man, I'm not a really good writer, man, but if you write me a song, I'll give you publishing. Oh, Sid, man, I need music, the money now, man. And hey, man, if you produce this for me, man, I'll give you producer credits. Oh, Sid, man, I'm like, I'm a poor little kid from the projects. I don't have no money.
Yeah.
And I wasn't working and stuff like that. I'm trying to do this music thing. And I couldn't get anybody to join in.
And
they wanted the money up front. I'm like, come on, man. Now look at it now. Publishing would be the thing. People would love to have publishing. I mean, look at that. Whitney Houston went back and redid that Dolly Parton and Dolly.
Oh my God.
What would Dolly Parton say? Oh man, I'm not mad at her for singing that song.
People forget that that's Dolly's song.
Yeah.
Because Whitney she killed it. Like, oh my God. Rest in peace, Whitney.
And here's the killer. Dolly made more money than Whitney. Whitney made money on record sales and performing it, but publishing wise,
because she got to pay Dolly.
Dolly owned that song.
Ooh,
She didn't get that song up. She let her use it. There's a difference.
So she doubled up really because she gonna
Man,
make it
she
off of
probably
hers.
she probably tripled up.
Really, because she making it off hers.
Yeah.
Then she gonna make it off Whitney's.
Yeah.
Because anytime that gets streamed, she get, oh my God.
Yep.
Like some
she
of these
gets paid.
people was thinking here, and some people was thinking here.
And when Whodini died, Dolly got another big boatload because people was playing her stuff and buying her records more. And man, this is stuff I was thinking when I was young. When I was young. And you know what's funny? I talked to people. I even talked to Sam about it one time. Sometimes there's people that can kind of keep you from getting your blessings. And I said, bruh, let me tell you something. I said, do you know why I was so popular back in the day when all these groups popped up all of a sudden and was like, man, forget Supersonic Sid, man, forget Supersonic Sid, man, we this, we that. I said, because I didn't care what these groups said. I had the people liking me.
Yeah.
I said, go after the people. If there's 10 rap groups, I hate Sydney. Cool, man, cool. Go here. And after a while, you're going to get some of theirs. You're going to get some of their fans. You're going to get some of them. But I focused on the people. I never focused on the individual. I could care less what this person is saying or what this person is doing. Because if you get to the people to like you, that's who's coming to see you. That's who's buying your tickets, is the people. And my mind was just, man, I didn't realize I was that far ahead of everybody until, like I said, the guy Sam had called me, and he was like, hey Sid, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. When I was young, I would run home so we can hear your music, and he was always talking about how nice I was. He was like, man, you were really nice. Well, I went home. I was speaking at some type of broadcasting school of some sort. And me and Bigg Robb and about 12 or 13 of us, we went out to eat. And we all sitting in the chair and we all talking. And these guys was talking about me. I said, I did that. I was like, well, I did that. What I did.
You start reflecting.
Man, I tell you what, man. It would damn near bring you to tears. Because the one dude said, he said, you don't remember me, Sid. He said, you was on stage with Whodini. And he said, I was out in the audience looking like just stunned. And he was like, hey man, you want to come back here? He's like, yeah. I said, come on, man. I told this kid, let him back here. Let him go up on stage and everything. I was that type of person. That's just who I was.
Yeah.
Because you got to get people to like you. That one move had that guy remember me his entire life. One day I was riding around in a limo, promoting my record.
Limousine ride.
And some kids in the project like, oh my God, going crazy over the car. I get out the car, my boys. I say, hey, take them for a ride. Took about 15 kids for a ride in the limousine. I said, just go on, take them around, cruise with them a little bit.
That's dope.
You got fans and friends for life. When I go home, right to this day, they show me just serious love, man. Just serious love. And I'm like, and I'm not home a lot, but the love everybody shows me is really nice. Even when I made it home this last trip about a month or so ago, some people hit me up, found out I was in town and asked me to come. They said somebody would love to see me, and man, they just rolled out the red carpet, man. I mean, they are really, really nice to me. I'm gonna go ahead.
I got a question for you. You spoke about Whodini. Yeah. And can you explain your relationship with him?
That's my boy. Everybody knows that's my boy. You know what? And I'm gonna get back to that, but I don't want to forget what I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
And this is gonna be the first time that anybody's ever heard this.
Oh,
A
snap.
lot
Y'all
of
know I like
a lot of
exclusives.
stuff I keep to myself. Even though Cincinnati, a lot of those people, when people say the crab in the barrel mentality, even though that was going on, and I was like, man, I'm about done, man, I'm about done. When I heard Midnight Star made a song called Rock That Boat, and Ecstasy from Whodini was on it, my phone rung off the hook for 3 days.
Hmm.
They said, Sid. And see, Midnight Star is local. Midnight Star's from Cincinnati. Everybody's like, Sid, man, you killed it. Man, you killed it. I said, killed what? He said, that ain't you with Midnight Star? Because they assumed it was me because Midnight Star was local. Here's the thing. Mine and X voice is like this. But that's how I made so much money DJing. Because my voice, the way I would project it with the music,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
DJ'd a little different than a lot of people.
Okay.
I would play with people. I would say, freeze. Everybody would freeze. I go, you know what? When Supersonic Sid talks, everybody listens. And I would introduce songs like that.
Yeah, so you put your own flavor
Man, I
onto
would
it.
play with it. And the voice I had,
Yeah,
like I said, they thought that was me on Midnight Stars Rock That Boat, but it was my boy X. They thought it was me, and my voice was just powerful, and it just stood out like that. And man, true story. A lot of people, this first time people gonna hear this one too. Right to this day, X never knew.
he never knew. So he never knew that people thought.
No, he never. Yeah, he never knew that people thought our voices were similar. I let him hear Listen Up, but
Mm-hmm,
Listen Up was more of a shouting type song.
mm-hmm.
But he never knew that everybody compared us because me and X we were true friends. We were friends. Never talked about music to him. Never talked about music. When he'd come to town, I'd be the one buying the food and stuff like that because we were cool. That was just my boy.
Yeah.
We were cool. Always called, check in on me, ask me how the kids doing, how's the family, blah blah blah. I mean, that's my boy. Hey Sid, my daughter's going to Ohio State. She runs track, and you know we had a great relationship over the years. But he'd never be within maybe a state or a few cities away from me where he didn't call. Like, Sid, hey, meet me here or meet me there. We're gonna be here. We're gonna this the hotel we staying at. Blah 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 blah. I mean, we were cool like that. So when he died, my phone just kept ringing off the freaking hook.
Yeah.
Because everybody knew that me and X was cool. When I was still living in the projects, when Friends was out,
Mm-hmm.
going gold, going platinum, I'll pull up in the projects with X. Everybody's like, what does you do for Whodini? What the Sid you rolling? Sid you got it?
You rolling like that? That's how you rolling like that?
And let me tell you something else that's funny. Kurtis Blow.
Hey.
Let me go back. Because there's so much. But let me go back. I was DJing at Aiken High School.
Okay.
And a guy came in with a flyer this big. He said, read this. I read it. He said, do that for me. I said, okay, I got you. And I was taking radio and television broadcast.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it just like, ladies and gentlemen, the first rap, blah, 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 blah. It was the New York City Swatch Watch Fresh Festival. The very first rap tour. Whodini, Kurtis Blow, Fat Boys, Nucleus, Run DMC, some dancers in the movie Beat Street, dancers from the movie Breaking. So I read it. I was like, and the dude said, "Whoa!" He said, "Bruh." He said, "Man," he did like this. He said, "Man, your voice just sent chills through my spine." He said, "What are you doing that day?" I said, nothing." He said,
You want you to
"You
introduce?
gonna MC? You gonna?" He
Yeah.
said, "Man," and let me tell you how business works. I didn't hear from that man for 2 months. The day before the show, Sid.
You still doing it?
He said, "Sid, this is Russ. You ready?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Look, man," he said, "my bad." He said, "I couldn't get you your own dressing room, but you sharing dressing rooms with Kurtis Blow." Now, back when I was young, it ain't like it is now. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna get these future stars and these stars some advice,
Go on, give it
and
to
I
him.
hope they listen to me when
I'm
I tell
listening.
you. When I was young, you couldn't get within 2 feet of these stars. You just couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't get near Michael Jackson. You couldn't get near Prince. You couldn't get near these rappers. You could if you was a girl, but they want to hook up with you, which was fine, but they weren't accessible. You couldn't be on stage and getting backstage and moving around like they do now. You just couldn't do it. So when I'm standing there with Kurtis Blow, like I'm a DJ, I'm playing this dude's music on Saturdays. I'm playing Run DMC on Saturday. I'm playing the Fat Boys on Saturday. And I'm standing there. I'm in the same dressing room with Kurtis Blow.
That's awesome.
I mean, this. So check this out. So I'm sitting down chilling, and he came over to me. He said, "How'd you get your hair like that?" Well, I used to wear my hair cut over my eye, but it used to be real long in the back.
Yeah.
Went to the middle of my back. My hair was real long. He said, "How you get your hair like that?" I said, "Man, I cut it right here, and I just let it grow from here down." Like, "Oh, okay, okay." I saw him about a year or so later when he did the I Rude, when he was in the what's that song, that movie? I looked, I said, "My boy done stole my hairstyle." So I saw him about a year or so later. He looked at me and said,
Wow.
I was like, "Okay, he stole my hairstyle, man." Yeah, he did. He literally stole my hairstyle. But check this out. We had a sound check that day. So I grabbed me a microphone. I go up on stage. Run DMC. It was me, Run DMC, Buff from the Fat Boys that him. Man, you should hear that dude live, man. I'm surprised that dude hadn't caved a building in, man. Because the voice from that man live is amazing. It was Prince Marky D. It wasn't KB. X and them, I don't think they were there yet. I hadn't met him yet. We on stage, and I'm standing on stage, sound checking, freestyling with rappers that I'm playing records.
These are
on
legends.
Saturdays, and they legends now. But I'm gonna tell you what did it for me. What did it for me, bro? Sugar Hill Gang, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. I think Nucleus had a show in Cincinnati. And bruh, I did a sound check with the Sugar Hill Gang doing Rapper's Delight. Man, you could have just mopped me up off the floor, man. I was done. Remember, that's where it started. I'm like, damn. Never had a manager. I'm in front of all of these stars getting all this stuff. Never had a manager. Nobody ever made a phone call, set something up for me. Nobody did nothing for me. I did it all by myself. And then I was getting ready to start doing block parties in Kentucky, Indianapolis, Detroit, cities that was close, and I was gonna hand out cards. Can you imagine 3 or 4 states? And people were like,
that's lit.
Calling you up
That's
to
crazy.
DJ. This is how I was thinking as a young dude. I was like, man, I'm a DJ and all. But then got into the rap part and it changed. But I was thinking, and you know what's funny? They can still do that now. You can literally just go pass out your card or do some block parties in certain little areas. Pass out your card. You living in Houston, but people in Dallas thinking about you, people in New Orleans thinking about you, people in Oklahoma thinking about you, and all you doing is just get in your car, maybe a few hour drive, spend a couple of dollars and stay in a hotel that night, go out there, sell who you are, get in the car and bring your butt home, wait for that phone to ring. This is the advice that I want to get. This is just advice for me to these new stars.
Okay.
Quit being so accessible. You lose who you are. When it gets to the point where you performing on stage and somebody walk up and slap you in the face or spit on you or something like that, you too familiar with people. You're just too familiar. People love you when you are what they call like take Prince and Michael Jackson. Before Michael Jackson started granting interviews, I remember I told a friend of mine, I said he's done. Because the moment he started granting interviews and people became a little more accessible to him, that was his downfall. But when people were intrigued about Michael Jackson, didn't know what he did, didn't know where he was at, didn't know nothing about the inside of his house.
So basically like Prince. Because Prince, we really never heard anything about
He stayed
Prince.
that way.
And I like that.
You ever have any problems with him?
No.
And I sit back nowadays, I'll be like, man, y'all going about it all wrong. You sitting on millions and you in a local club in your city.
See,
turning it up in a local club in your city and you went platinum.
But see, I have on that, it's like a double-edged sword almost.
Mm-hmm.
Because Shaq is accessible. But Shaq is so big, but he's always out. So he says
Shaq is different. Shaq wasn't accessible when Shaq was playing basketball. I mean, people seen him, but remember that basketball career kept him too busy to be running the streets anyway.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Now it's okay if I play for the Lakers and I'm in Houston in a club that night. That's okay. I'm just there that night. They don't know what I'm doing any other time. But you got these rappers and they always in somebody's face, always hanging around people, always accessible. They're always accessible. People have always been intrigued by not knowing. Like, I don't know what this dude doing. I don't know what this girl doing. Like you have women. I mean, think about this. These entertainers, women. We know the last 40 people Kim Kardashian slept with.
True.
That's insane. That's too many people in your business. And then people wonder why, well, they talking about me on social media. They talking about because you gave them the ammunition. They talking about you because what you told them. Now, if you rich and you go behind that gate, shut that door, and people see you out on tour, you send somebody to the store to get what you need, or every now and then you want to go somewhere with a kid or something every now and then, that's fine. But if every time you turn it around, oh yeah, man, we saw Supersonic Sid at the mall. We saw Supersonic Sid at this club. We saw Supersonic Sid at Church's Chicken.
So you saying you losing your luster?
Well, people are getting too familiar with you. That's why they can come up and slap you on stage or shoot you because they feel you offended them, you know. But if you, like I said, it's best to just be a star. Be a star. Don't be a regular person. Go ahead and be a star because they love you anyway. They buy your songs because they love you. They're coming to see you in concert because they love you. They already love you. You don't have to saturate yourself with something. And that's even with singing. A lot of times people go, give them enough to where they want more. You know, you hear that all the time. Give them a little bit to where they want more. Cause if you sit there and sing all night, man, Sid was singing love songs for 45 hours, man. I ain't gonna listen to another Sid song for 20 years. And people don't listen, but people tell you. But like I said, and I sat back one day, and when you see, like I said, somebody walk up on stage and slap a rapper, that's insane. That's like, like you just another little dude on the street. But I tell you something else I heard the other day, and it was sad. I heard somebody say, what are they talking about? Like black business, supporting black business.
We do need to support black
Wait a
business.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So I said, yeah, yeah, yeah. Then I said, yeah, but told my girl this. I said, yeah, but you know what's gonna happen? She said, what? See all these rich black people with all that money? What they doing? Driving around in their car, showing you what they got and laughing at you because you ain't got it. I said, but white businesses take your money, say thank you, and move on. I said, black businesses take your money and ride around in Rolls Royces, Benzes, and stuff like that, and look down on you for not having it. She said, wow. I said,
But not in
yeah.
all cases, though. But we do
Nothing.
got the snotty nose people.
You've been doing these podcasts, but remember, when you talk to somebody, nothing anyone says ever constitutes all. Nobody's ever talking about all, no matter what conversation you have. A lot of times it's the majority, but they're not talking about all. The only thing that we can say that's all is we all will die. That is the only thing we can ever say that is 100% right, and that we can actually use the word all. But when you talk about people, it's a large majority of them. A lot of these love and hip hop shows, it's just showing people this what I got and you don't have it. It's a lot of that. And now, do people mean anything by it? Maybe not. But the moment somebody say something, that's why I got this and you broke. That's why I got, man, forget them, man. They broke, man. And so you go, wow. So like you want to support it, but you don't want somebody to go, I got your money, and then slap me in the face.
This is a perfect segue because I honestly want to ask this question. How has the industry changed from when you was involved to like now?
Let me tell you something, man. This part is getting deep. This is deep right here. This is the way it is now. It's all planned. This is planned.
Okay.
This is planned. 100%. 100%. Because let me tell you what's impossible.
Okay.
And this has never happened ever in the history of music. You can turn on these shows, America Got Talent and Voices of Voices, and you can hear people that can sing unlike anything you've ever seen in your life or heard in your life. And these people not signed. And they struggling. But you get somebody that you know is using auto-tune 99% of the time. People that actually can't sing but can. I always say people can't sing, but this person can hold a tune. Remember, now y'all said remember when you talked to me.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up
listening
to the OJs.
It's different. Y'all industry is different. Y'all had real instruments in studios
and we had people that could sing,
and I'm in real talent.
Yeah.
So
that's all I heard. So if I hear a certain artist, I'd be like, "Oh, sound terrible." They do to me. But you know something that's messed up? When I was young, when we were young, growing up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, I would hear a song and go, man, I don't like that song. And then the person next to me go, yeah, I think it's a nice song. I go, okay, I don't like it. And guess what? That's the end of it.
Mm.
That's the now. Oh, you hating, man? You ain't man. Your mama can't sing. That's why you can't sing. And you sit back like, when did it get to the point where I have the right to not like something? We have lost our rights to not like something, and somehow, some way, people don't think that that's not insane. That is insane. I don't like her voice. I'm sorry. Now, do I want her to make millions?
Yes.
Yes. Man, enjoy yourself, raise some good, wealthy kids, and
Man.
and live a great life. But boy, you sound terrible. I'm not wishing anything bad on you. You just sound terrible to me.
I feel we lost our way when we lost, because we don't have freedom of speech. I'm sorry, that's BS.
You're right.
We do not have freedom of speech.
You're right.
That is the biggest lie told to us, is that freedom of speech. If I can't say I don't like something, like you're saying, it's like I feel people have been way too sensitive instead of taking constructive criticism now.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I had a bad rehearsal. One thing about me, I'm very transparent about me. I ain't gotta hide nothing or fake anybody. I'm me.
Yeah.
I'm me 100%. I had a bad rehearsal. And my director got on my ass.
Okay.
Got on my ass, and the cast was mad at me. You know what I did? I didn't flip out on my director like no. I got my ass in the lab.
Mm-hmm.
I got on that script. I say no. I'm going to show them why I'm here.
That's right.
Not try to be like, down in you and make you. People in this generation, I feel they make themselves a victim.
Yeah.
I feel this is the victim generation. Instead of like finding more solutions or getting better, you're rather victimized.
Yeah, we're at the point where everybody gets a medal. Everybody in a race gets a medal. And I'm sorry. All those people came in last place suck. And you know what? But you make them better that way. When you go, man, you suck. Then I need to not suck.
Yes.
But if you give everybody medals, they're not going to get better. But that one is already good, going to leave everybody else in the dust.
All right. Got a couple of things before we
Yes, sir.
go. All right.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you about, because you told me this over the phone and we didn't get to it. It was a one song that you said that the label wanted you to do, and you really wasn't. You really didn't like. You didn't want to do it, and that's another reason why you got the industry. That song was called, because I looked it up.
Keep your booty clean.
Your booty clean.
Here's the funny part about it.
Tell me about that song right there.
Because that is what I did at the King's Island.
Okay.
It was just talking about hygiene. Well, they liked it and they wanted to do that. Here's the problem. I don't remember nothing that I said. And the dude that took the tape never gave it back to me. So you want me to go in the studio and recreate something I don't even remember. And I put that song out, man. I was in the studio, and man, even when I was hearing the demo, I was like, oh man. I was like, I just blew my shot. They wanted me to go in the studio and do a whole album. But here's the problem. They wanted me to produce this album myself. Now, another artist would be happy, like, what? I could do whatever I want. You have artists that would love that. I was smart enough to know that's not my skill set.
Yeah.
I needed somebody to say, see it, do this, do that. You sound terrible, man. Let's do it this way. That's what I needed. So I'm in the studio putting out a record, telling everybody else what to do. That's just not me. And I'm smart enough to know that. But something else. a lot of people don't know, and I think this is kind of deep too, but it's true. When I first started out rapping, I kind of had like a little nasty mouth,
Hmm.
and I never remember nothing I said, but I just had a nasty mouth.
Okay.
But I realized people with nasty mouths not getting played on the radio. So I changed my entire way of thinking, and I started thinking radio, 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 radio,
I'm about
radio,
to say,
radio.
you was ahead of your time, right?
Oh, but check this out. Tell me if this ain't a killer. I I told some people how come I was never a good rap writer. And I said, man, I know why I'm not a good writer. Yeah, some people just not writers. Not
Hmm.
good writers, not writers. I said, bruh, I said, the reason I'm not a good writer, I said, I grew up in the projects. I said, but my mentality was I wanted out of it.
Mm.
I said, so I'm not going to sit there talk about poverty and being broke and food stamp and government cheese. My mind, it wouldn't let me go there. That's what was so funny. It wouldn't let me go there because I know how it feels to wear shoes where the bottom came off and I had to tie 'em with a shoestring to keep the bottom from coming off. I know how it feel to eat the government cheese, the cereal with the powdered milk, cereal with the carnation milk, cereal with water.
Hey, man. Them struggle meals,
That's
man.
what I'm eating: salt sandwich, syrup sandwich,
Ah,
ketchup,
I was just
mustard.
about to say,
I remember all of
but
that.
the ketchup sandwich was hitting
And
though. I ain't gonna lie. The
but you know
ketchups and
what?
mayonnaise, the Miracle Whip sandwich was hitting back in
Man,
the
I
day.
didn't want to write about that stuff. My mind just wouldn't let me do it, man. Right to this day, if somebody said write a rap about when you lived in the projects, I can't do it. I
But
mean, my mind is shut down.
because you weren't trying to be in that mindset and that environment when you was trying to get out.
But you know what? The projects were different then. They were different then. The only difference between the projects and a nice middle class neighborhood was the income. Because when I grew up, people wanted to go to college. Here's what's funny: you knew that one or two promiscuous girls, you knew that one or two criminal, you knew that one or two person that would miss school a lot. It was so few that you never knew them. I mean, but now
It's everywhere.
everybody fits that description. And I'm telling you, when they said, now I don't know how old you are, and I know my man here can vouch for me because he's probably closer to me, or I don't know, man.
He definitely close to you.
When you hear people say, I got my butt beat by Miss Such and Such, and then went home and got another one,
Yeah.
man, I cussed one day and Miss Betty heard me cussing. I'm looking at Miss Betty like, ma'am, ain't nothing left for my mother to whoop. But I went home and I got another one for cussing. And the ladies, they looked after us. Little black kids wasn't getting abducted.
Mm.
And you would think that that would be your target. They wasn't getting, man, wasn't nobody coming through the project snatching up nobody kids. And it had nothing to do with not wanting the kids. You're going to get hurt.
So I got it, and this is gonna be my last question because I like especially where this is going because this is conversations that first off our community need to hear, and second off the change of like generations because I grew
Yeah.
up in I still I had old school parents and
Okay.
I didn't get into trouble because my dad showed us scared straight. My dad say trouble is easy to get into and hard to get out. So I took
Yeah.
heed. That's another one of them old school words that my parents used to use.
Yes,
I took
sir. Yes, sir.
heed to what
What
they
they
was
say.
telling me. So how you was saying about the projects is different back there because you still kind of see it a little bit in certain ones, but the projects out there sounded more like community
Well, here,
than trying to
I
tear each
think,
other down.
I think, to be honest with you, projects all over the United States were like that back in the 80s. Because remember, tons of those black kids went to college. They were all they and like this big rush for everybody to go to Atlanta. That all started off at like college and Freaknik and all that stuff. A lot of people and Cosby had everybody going to college. People in the projects, well, see, the people in the suburbs knew they were going. All the inner city people, everybody went to college. I mean, tons of people went to college that I knew. Tons of people. They were good kids. They spoke well. A lot of people spoke well, carried themselves well. And then all of a sudden, you cannot tell me you hear the most atrocious stuff on radio, you see it on TV. You can't tell me that that's not planned, man.
No, I agree. I
That's
100% agree
planned.
with you.
That's planned. You keep a person that can sing from making a record. And do you think it's a coincidence that you don't hear no songs talking about unity?
See,
Is
you
that
keep
is
you keep
is
going,
that
you keep going down
is
this
is
rabbit
that is
hole.
that a is that that's not coincidence? And here's what's funny: BET
Yo,
and the one whatever they are owned by Caucasians, 100%,
yeah, they sold out.
100%, and they are signing off on that stuff that you see on TV, and you take the award shows and people twerking in front of old men faces in the audience.
Yeah,
This is insane. And people go, "Oh, you just hate, and you just hate." No, that's insane. And you know what's funny? Think about this.
this thing.
70% of them people gonna regret it.
Mm.
Especially when they get to the point where they have to pay rent, they have to work. I'm talking regular people and the entertainers, that because a lot of people don't pay attention to this. Every football star, rapper, singer, whoever, everybody I loved and knew all them years back, they ain't famous no more, and more than half of them are broke. See, reality kicks back in at some point, but here's what's embarrassing: you hear nursing home abuse, right? And there's certain things people do to older people in these nursing homes, and I hope people take heed to this.
Mm.
Can you imagine you 80 years old with the most atrocious words tattooed on your body, and you in the nursing home, and you don't think them people gonna clown you and act stupid? Man, y'all see Miss Wagner? She got a big old lipstick print on her booty, and she 90 years old. She 80 years old. And everything that you went through in life is tattooed on your body. You don't and like I said, people have to go through life. You got some ignorant people out there. You got people that don't care. You got people that hurt you. And you got people that do things that abuse kids and elderly. Because I was telling a friend one day, I said, man, when these girls are 60 and 70 and 80 years old, it's going to cost a lot of money to remove a full body tattoo or even a tattoo here. And all. It's going to cost a lot of money. Then you're in a nursing home at the most vulnerable point of your life. And everybody in that nursing home is going to know your life just by reading that book on your body.
Mm.
And they're going to clown you or abuse you. I mean, that's just how the world is. It's okay, like I said, it's okay want to put a tattoo. It's okay for people to do whatever they want to do. You just ask yourself, are you willing to face the consequences? That's like tattoos on your neck and stuff like that. Then I'll never work in corporate America.
Anyway, I'm not a fan of the corporate.
I'll know you're telling yourself you'll never work there.
Yeah.
You're literally telling yourself, I'll never work there. Tattoo all over your face. You're telling yourself, now you got to accept people to judge you. You can have your whole face tattooed and you can be a doctor. They ain't gonna see no doctor. They gonna see that face tattooed up.
I say they gonna see a thug.
And they're gonna go, and ain't nowhere in the world. And the doctor gonna be the last thing come to mind, unless they. And then if they walk into your practice and see you, they ain't gonna want to deal with you. I'm like, no, man. And that's just how the world is. The world is cruel, man. But just back to the music, and then I guess
Yeah.
we can go.
Yeah, we about to wrap this up because this is the last thing, man. So I didn't tell you this beforehand, and I always do this because you are an artist. So with artists that comes on the show, man, we freestyle.
Man,
So, Mr. Supersonic Sid,
you ain't gonna give me the freestyle.
come on, man. Every artist got to do it.
I don't know how to freestyle no more.
Oh, come on now.
Oh no,
You got to give me at least something. You got to give us something.
I retired, man.
Nah, Supersonic.
Hey,
Now, what are my viewers gonna say? It was like Supersonic Sid got special treatment. He ain't freestyle.
Yeah, well, Supersonic Sid got special treatment. There you go. Yeah, there's
2 bars.
Man,
Two
I
bars.
couldn't come up with anything. I don't want to say anything stupid. People on my job hear it.
Oh, I got you. Man, y'all
talk about being a player and all that stuff. I got to worry about my girl now.
Oh, see, hey, his words not mine.
I'm a player. I got to worry about my.
The player crush a lot. All you gotta say big pun. But you ain't gotta run. But we just sitting here, it's Tiptastic and Supersonic Sid, and we just having fun. Shout out to my boy.
Hey, can I plug this one more time?
Go on, plug that one more again.
Again. From what I understand, August 29th, 30th, 31st, Cincinnati hip hop legends. By my boy Tony T. Robb. I'm gonna be honored, and I don't know the other artists, but it should be pretty nice. It'd be pretty nice.
Hey man, make sure y'all go out there because it looks like your boy Tiptastic gonna be out there because I've got some work that I gotta handle when I'm out
Yeah,
there.
ladies, I'm bringing this young man with me.
Hey, why you say lady? Why you just put me out there to my lady? Ladies, keep your hands to yourself. Hey,
And he's still coming.
And this is a man that know how to tell y'all no. Y'all ain't used to that, but I do tell y'all no. Y'all can't be all up on me like that, man. Hey, man, superstar status. You feel me? But again, thank you for coming on, Supersonic Sid. This was amazing. Like I got a legend right beside me, y'all. Like I really got a legend right beside me, and he's not only just a legend for his music career, he's a legend as a person because this man right here is sent. He's an angel, walking angel. Shout out to my boy Twisted Apparel. Make sure y'all go get that merch, man. He sent this to me personally. So go support this man, Twisted Apparel, Teddy Apparel. If you need the information, just hit me up. I'm accessible, but not too accessible.
There
like
you
my
go.
man Supersonic Sid said. So, with that being said, you got any final words?
Oh, that's it. Other than had a pretty good time. Just had a pretty good time. One day we'll sit down and talk again, and if anybody got questions that they want answered, I mean, I can answer some questions.
Okay.
But I do have a little something in the works.
Okay.
That I was telling you about. I got a couple things that's that could be really big. I actually told my son about it. I didn't tell anybody else about this.
Okay.
And I gave my son an idea. I said, son, what if I made a song about this? And then I explained it. And my son said, I said, it's a song that every generation will like, every color would like. It'd be worldwide.
Woo!
But it'll never be the same song every time you play it. And my son was like, what? And I explained it to him. I said, son, I said, I can't. I said, I can tell you, I can't tell anybody else because I can't. I said, because if I say one thing, they're going to go, oh, and they'll get it. And I told my son looked at me and said, what made you think of that?
I'm not gonna lie.
And I said, look,
we gotta cut that part out.
And I said, said, you see what I'm getting at? He said, when you say young and old and black and white and worldwide, my son was like, you kind of lost me. And then when I told him, he looked at me, he said, Dad, he said, what made you think of that? I said, do you think that'd be huge? He was like, yes. And he
That's
said,
game changer.
I'm surprised nobody ever thought of that. And I said, son, nobody thought about the stuff I was doing when I first started back in 1979.
Mm.
I said, how do you like that? He was like, he was like, he just kept saying, what made you think of that? And I said, just think of that as a record. He said, yeah, but what about? I said, good. I'm glad you thinking that way. I said, because I know that's gonna happen. And I said, you ever had something that slaps you in the face every day? I mean, it's something.
My reality.
You know when some people say if you want to hide something, just put it right in front of a person.
Plain sight.
Plain sight. This I do in plain sight. And people like you should have picked up on this years ago. That's the tripped out part about it.
Mm.
I told my son, and I can't tell anybody because I don't own the concept, but the way I put it together, I own. So I try, and this is one of the reasons I left the business. So I asked this one guy, I said, do me a favor. I said, just put together me some beats. I said, but this beat has to be somewhere between the way the kids' music is now,
mm-hmm.
with a little hint of like the 80s, just a hint of it. But I said, because I'm trying to catch that audience. I said, and I was like, but I said, man, but I can't tell you. I just can't. Because if I tell you, you're gonna get it before I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to have somebody that would actually put together the music for me, let me go in and record it pretty much by myself. After it's recorded, then I could possibly say something because then we got to put it out. Because I tell you what, I can walk into a club and go play this.
I'm about to say,
and have that whole doggone club in an uproar. I'm telling you, it's right there looking everybody in the face every day, and nobody ever thought of it. And like I said, my son, and the reason why I take what he's saying so personal is when I told him even the young kids nowadays gonna love it. And he was like, Dad, how are you old school gonna make something that these kids gonna love? Then I said, okay,
I'm about to say
this is what I'm talking about.
It's easier with this generation for me because they listen more to the beat than anything. They don't even listen to really with the lyrics and some of these people be saying.
Bruh, young, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, all the way up to 70, 80 years old is gonna like that. And you know what they're gonna say?
What they gonna say?
And they're gonna have an opinion. When I said it has to be played now, it has to be played live. Played live, it would never be the same song ever. You can play that song in 80 clubs and it'll never be the same song. Even though it's the same song, it'll never be the same song.
Mm. Well, with that being said, y'all, peace, love, hair grease, protect them crowns. Y'all know the vibes. We out, baby.